For years, the Denver Nuggets built on one thing: trust. Trust in continuity. Trust in chemistry. Trust in Nikola Jokic. But after falling just short of another finals run, the Nuggets finally made bold, calculated changes, and the result? They walked away as the clear-cut winners of the 2025 NBA offseason. While other contenders shuffled the deck, Denver quietly built a deeper, smarter, and more competitive team without sacrificing the identity that made them champions just 2 years ago. Let's start with what made Denver special in the first place. Despite the second round exit in 2025, Denver's starting lineup remained elite. Even after losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Christian Braun took over his spot, the Nuggets starters still dominated. Their regular season net rating plus 10.6, and the playoffs plus 11.3. And when matched up against the champion Oklahoma City Thunder, arguably the most athletic, versatile defense in the league, that group still posted a plus 10.3 per 100 possessions. Jokic, Murray, Gordon, Braun, and Porter Jr. worked. They moved as one, but the issue wasn't the starters. It was everything after Jokic sat down. The Nuggets bench collapsed in those minutes, and it became painfully obvious they needed more depth, versatility, and shooting. Denver didn't panic. They didn't tear it down. They made a series of surgical, high IQ moves to retool the roster around their MVP and championship core. Let's talk about the move that kickstarted everything: trading Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson and an unprotected 2032 first-round pick. At first glance, it's a bit jarring. Michael Porter Jr. was a starter in their 2023 title run, a 6'10 sniper with elite touch and a rare size for a shooter. There were flashes of brilliance. In key wins over Minnesota and Oklahoma City, MPJ caught fire and reminded everyone just how dangerous he can be when locked in. But his offensive role stayed mostly stagnant. He was still primarily a catch-and-shoot threat with limited growth off the bounce. He averaged fewer than 2 free throws per game, revealing a reluctance or inability to attack the rim with force or frequency. And then there's the contract. He's entering the 4th year of a 5-year, $173 million max contract, fully guaranteed through 2027. No team or player options, and remains one of Denver's biggest long-term cap commitments. For a team already deep in the luxury tats, his $35 million salary limited their ability to maneuver, especially when his offense impact didn't scale in the postseason. That's where Cam Johnson made so much sense. A near-career 40% three-point shooter, quicker off the bounce, better in motion, a much more willing defender. He's not the shot creator Porter is, while on this team, he doesn't need to be. He just needs to space, cut, defend, and knock down threes off Jokic. He's also making $17 million less per year, which immediately opened up space for Denver to add multiple rotation players. It wasn't just about swapping players. It was about reshaping the roster, balancing the books, and squeezing more versatility out of the forward spot, all while staying competitive now and preserving flexibility for the future. Once the Cam Johnson deal freed up cap space, Denver made a move their franchise has been begging for since 2023, bringing back Bruce Brown. Brown was a key cog in their championship run, a do-it-all guard who could defend multiple positions, initiate offense in small spurts, and play off Jokic perfectly. He's tough, unselfish, and thrives in structure. The exact kind of role player you want next to stars. After leaving for a bag in Indiana, Brown bounced around and never quite found the same fit, but back in Denver, with a role carved out and a system tailored to his strengths, it's a seamless reunion. One of the Nuggets' biggest weaknesses during the 2024-2025 season was what happened when Jokic sat. The drop-off was steep. Zeke Naji, DeAndre Jordan, and even Dario Saric couldn't hold on the line. So what did Denver do? They traded Dario Saric and cash for Jonas Valanciunas, a starting caliber center who averaged 20 points and 15 rebounds last year. Let that sink in. Valanciunas isn't a backup. He's an overqualified bruiser who gives Denver a totally different look when Jokic rests. He can punish mismatches inside, control the glass, and force opposing second units to play big. And the best part, he's fine with coming off the bench. That kind of veteran sacrifice is rare and exactly what this team needs. Now for the first time in years, Denver won't hemorrhage points when Jokic heads to the bench. If there's one stat that screamed, "fits me" on Denver's stat sheet last year, it was this. They ranked 30th in the NBA in three-point attempt. Dead last. They had shooters, but not volume shooters. Enter Tim Hardaway Jr., a career 36% three-point shooter on high volume. He's fearless, streaky, and the kind of bench scorer who can swing playoff games when defenses load on Jamal Murray and Jokic. He's not a creator or a stopper, but he knows his job. Run to the corner, catch fire, repeat. He and Cam Johnson give Denver the spacing they lacked all last year, which will allow Jokic to operate, Murray to cook, and for cutters like Aaron Gordon and Christian Braun to dive freely. So let's recap what Denver did. They traded Michael Porter Jr. and Dario Saric and added Cam Johnson, Bruce Brown, Jonas Valanciunas, and Tim Hardaway Jr. That's 4 rotation level additions, and suddenly Denver can now go 9, even 10 deep without sacrificing fit or identity. Having a starting lineup of Jamal Murray, Bruce Brown, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. And on the bench, Christian Braun, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, Peyton Watson. That's length, shooting, defense, veteran experience, and youth upside. All wrapped in a system that has already proven it can win a title. Last season, the Denver Nuggets came closer than anyone to knock off the Oklahoma City Thunder, the team that now wears the world champion crown. But they came up short because their bench collapsed, their shooting dried up, and the weight fell solely on Jokic's shoulders. Now, that same core is intact, but they've added depth, shooting, defense, and intelligence. The moves weren't flashy, they weren't front-page news, but they were smart. The kind of offseason that wins you playoff games in May and June. The West is still loaded, but make no mistake, the Denver Nuggets are back. Deeper, sharper, more dangerous than ever. And when we look back at the 2025 offseason, we might just say, this is when Denver won their second ring.